What is that organizational support is got by the government of India? We call it as EIC, Export Inspection Council. EIC, this is very important, and this is the next one. It is all concerned for one particular body, and that is called the Department of Commerce. When more export happens, the money is coming to you, and that is how you are making more profit. They will blame India not for having a qualitative product. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidyashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students here. Now we are in the next session of international business, and here in this session we're gonna actually go with more of what the government is doing for the international business. Now here you need to understand that when international becomes famous, that is the international business will become famous, you will also know that the entire market of the global, that will also be very famous. When I say that, what exactly this famous word is? That means we will get to know what the other country products are, and they'll get to know what we people are using. That is how we are supposed to go with it, and the economy of each and every country will grow only in the case of when we go with international business and consider the entire globe as a single market. Now, organizational support. Now, what exactly the supports are got by these organizational? What exactly the government is doing it for the international business? Now, the government of India has also set up from time to time various institutions in order to facilitate the process of foreign trade in our country. Now, please understand here, when we go with importing or we go with exporting, please understand when money will go and when money will come. Now when we import more, what happens is money goes, that is our money will actually go, that is it goes to the other country. When we go for exporting, what happens is the money is actually, it comes from the other country and it comes to our nation. So here what happens, both the ways, here economy you are supposed to understand, the more the export is done by any country, and when you compare with the import should be less. That means that country is making profit. Now the same way it is, if it is vice versa, what happens is importing is more and exporting is less. Now the country is in deficit. Now when I say deficit, they are not getting profit, they are making losses. So it's like this, income and receipts, right? Now you are supposed to understand, if you are spending money and if you are getting money, what will happen? Now the more you spend and less you are getting it, now what happens is you will actually be in a deficit side. If income is more and you are spending less, then you are in surplus. That is what the thing is. So what is that organizational support is got by the government of India? We call it as GOI, Government of India. The first one here, you need to always know that the government of India is doing all these things, that is some of the important institutions are done by those government of India. That is, the first one is Department of Commerce. We call it as DOC. What is it? DOC, Department of Commerce. Second thing is Export Promotion Council. Please understand this, EPCS. EPCS, that is Export Promotion Council. Export Promotion Council. Next is commodity boards. Now commodity means what? I have told you what exactly a commodity is. Now commodity board will be actually is set up by the government of India. Export Inspection Council, EIC, Export Inspection Council, EIC. This is very important, and this is the next one. So you will get a question called expand EPCS, then you are supposed to write Export Promotion Council. If you get what is EIC, that is called Export Inspection Council. Both the ways we have something called councils. Next you have, that is ITPO, What is this ITPO? Indian Trade Promotion Organizations. That is, they'll actually promote the trade, that is Indian trade, that is from India. What all you are supposed to get, all the trades, you will actually get it in the foreign country if you just go with ITPO. Next one is Indian Institute of Packaging. Now, Indian Institute of Packaging. Now, these are the people who are set up by the government of India. These institutions help in packaging the product, and then they'll actually be exported. And the last one here is State Trading Organization called STO. What is this called as? STO, State Trading Organization. So these are the organizations here. Students, please understand each and everything. I'll tell you what exactly it happens, when it was started, why it was started, and how benefit is it actually giving to the organizational support. The first one here, when we go, Department of Commerce, that is, it comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. If you have seen the budget 2021, then you will understand what exactly happened to the Department of Commerce also. Now, the first one here, Department of Commerce. The Department of Commerce in the Ministry of Commerce, that is the Government of India, is the apex body. When I say apex body, that means what? It is the major, it plays a major role. Just like when we go with judiciary, the apex court is called Supreme Court. That is, after that you don't have anything else. The same way here, the Department of Commerce, that is actually the apex body responsible for the country's external trade and all matters connected within. That means whatever happens abroad, the external trade, it is all concerned for one particular body, and that is called the Department of Commerce. Now here what happens is, this may be in the form of increasing commercial relations with other countries, or state trading, export promotional measures, and the development and regulation of certain oriented institutes and regulation of those commodities. That means here, what exactly Department of Commerce gives? The Department of Commerce will give the guidelines. They'll lay down the guidelines for everybody. And here, if you understand, when they go with the guidelines, this apex body, and they are the people who are responsible for what? They're responsible for every external trade. External trade. Done. Now, Department of Commerce, they come under the Ministry of Commerce, and the Ministry of Commerce will be actually in a tight schedule where they'll go with which country we are supposed to go for exporting and importing, which country we are not supposed to go for it. So they'll actually go with a proper fundamental thing, that is whether you can do this or you cannot do this. And here they will list out that which are the commodities you can actually go for exporting, and how much you can go, how much is the minimum, what is the maximum, everything they'll tell in the Ministry of Commerce. The second one here we have is, now here if you go with any kind of a trade, you will understand that you really need a license, and then you are supposed to carry this, because you have bill of lading, bill of loading, and mate receipt, everything which I have told you, that is the export procedure, very mandatory. And when they go with it, see, these are the vessels and containers. You are supposed to pre-book the vessels and containers. And here we have one more institute, that is the Export Promotion Council. We call it as EPCS, Export Promotion Council. So these people are the one who will go for promotions. Now, export promotion councils are non-profit organization. Please understand, it is what? It's non-profit organization registered under the Companies Act. Now, which is the Companies Act? The Companies Act of the Companies Act 1956, but we have a revised Companies Act, that is called 2013. That is, before 2013 we used to go with the Companies Act of 1956. Now after 2013 we have a revised Companies Act, that is 2013, or the Society Registration Act, as the case may be. The basic objective of Export Promotion Council is to promote. What is the first function? That is, they are the one who will actually go for more promotion of the export. That is what the export council does, and develop the country's export of particular products falling under their jurisdiction. Now, to be very frank, at present we have 21 EPCS, that is the export promotion councils. How many are there? We have listed, that is 21 non-profit organization. This is called EPCS. We have 21 EPCS, that is in India. Now what exactly they do? They will only promote the export. Now you need some person to actually promote it. Why is that the government of India is promoting export? Why they are not promoting import? Please understand. When we go with more export, that is when we'll actually get more money from different countries. That's why the Indian government, that is the government of India, they are concerned more about the exporting rather than importing. They really want to minimize importing, but the real fact is what we cannot be dependent only on our own people. We usually go with more of importing things than exporting. At present, there are 21 EPCs dealing with different commodities. Now, the third institution which we are supposed to know is, that is Commodity Board. Now, I told you about what commodity is. Now, commodity boards are the boards which have been specially established by the government of India for the development of production of traditional commodities and their export. So the more you are actually producing more commodities, what happens is excess commodities is there. Now you are supposed to cater to your own countrymen, and after that you are supposed to export it to the different places. Now what is happening is the commodity board will select few of their special commodity which is there in their country, and they want to actually develop it and they want to produce it more in a bulk with a standard quality and quantity, and then they want to export to the other nations where those commodities are not there. Now these boards are supplementary to the EPCS. Now they are the supplementary. The function of commodity board are similar to those of EPC. Now what EPC does? They will actually promote, isn't it? They'll go for promotion. Now what will they promote? They are supposed to promote the commodity. When they go with more of commodity, what happens is whichever you are actually producing more, those things will actually go for more of export. When more export happens, the money is coming to you, and that is how you are making more profit. That is why the government of India, they want this commodity board to look or to take care of only the commodities which are what? Which are developed of production of traditional commodity. They are called what? Traditional commodity. That is the Indian traditional commodities. Next we have is EIC, that is the Export Inspection Council. Now what exactly the inspection should happen is, now set up by the government of India under section 3 of the Export Quality Control and Inspection Act 1963. So it was established in 1963. When you go with this, please understand this is what it looks like, the government of India, and they go with Export Inspection Council. And Export Inspection Council, what exactly aims is, EIC aim at sound development of export trade through quality control. Who will check? That is EIC will actually check whether the quality is good or not, and pre-shipment inspection. Now we have gone with export procedure where we are supposed to go with get the certificate of pre-shipment as well as post-shipment. Now who is the person who is authorized to do it? Is EIC. And what is that EIC does is, that is they have been put up in the section 3 of the Export Quality Control and Inspection, and the act is 1963, and they only go with controlling the standards. Now why somebody need to actually maintain the standard? Because the more you are going for export, people are using your product. Now they will blame India not for having a qualitative product. That's the reason the government of India is very particular about the quality, the quantity, the grade, and the net weight, everything they really want to assure, and then they want to actually send it. And the Council of an apex body for controlling the activities related to quality control and pre-shipment inspection of commodities meant for export. Now before the shipment actually goes, here please understand, the shipment, whenever the shipment goes, what really happens is somebody should be there who should actually check what is the commodity is all about. They need to check the commodity. And EIC, what they really do is when they go for any inspection, any fraudulent act, any kind of other adulterated quantity you are actually going for it, they are the one who will stop it, and they'll have all the authority as well as the authorization that they can cancel your export license also. So you should be very clear about EIC and the standard they would have given in a thing, that what is the quality you are supposed to maintain, what is the quantity you are supposed to maintain, what are the products you can go for exporting, all those will be listed in EIC. Next one is Indian Trade Promotion Organization, called as ITPO. Now it is set up in the 1st January 1992. Please understand, after the economic reform, now the economic reform happened in the year 1991. Now after this economic reform, in the 1st January 1992, under the Companies Act 1956, see why it is 1956, because it is before 2013. That's why they go with 1956. By the Ministry of Commerce, Government of India with its headquarters in the New Delhi. ITPO is a service organization. What is it? It's a service organization, and it maintains a regular and close interaction with trade, industry and government. So you have trade, industry and government. ITPO was formed by merging two erstwhile agencies, that is Trade Development Authority and Trade Fair Authority of India. That means they are being merged by Trade Development Agency, and that is a Development Authority, and Trade Fair Authority. Now here Trade Development Authority, and we have one more is Trade Fair Authority. They have been merged, and we call that as ITPO, that is Indian Trade Promotion Organization. Now they will go with the same kind of what we have in EIC, as well as they go with inspection and promotion of the trade. And it was set up in the month of January, that the 1st January 1992, and they come under the Companies Act 1956. Now it was taken by 2013 Companies Act. We have IIFT, that is Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. Now the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade is an institution that was set up in 1963 by the government of India as an autonomous. When I say autonomous, they can do their work the way they want. It's their rules, their regulation, their standards. It is autonomous. Nobody can actually control it. They'll have their own in-house people who will actually go for all the documentation. Body registered under the Societies Registration Act with the prime object of professionalizing the country's foreign trade management. See, before 1963, when we understand this, 1963, India was not liberalized, privatized, globalized. It was not, right? It was not liberalized, privatized, globalized. Only in the time of, we have 1991, when we go with economic reform, we got LPG. Before that, in 1963, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, it was very difficult for exporting as well as importing, because too many formalities, too many taxes. It was not liberalized, it was not privatized, it was not globalized. Only after 1991, IIFT became very flexible, as well as it started to go with more of funding those people who are doing the export, making a very clean statement about what they can do it and what they cannot do it. And this IIFT, that is Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, they are the one who will always be a supportive hand from the government of India to all the exporters, whoever goes with exporting. So we have all these institutions plus, and the last one is IIP, that is called Indian Institute of Packaging. Now, the Indian Institute of Packaging was set up as a national institute jointly by the Ministry of Commerce, Government of India, and the Indian packaging industry and allied interests in 1966. Please understand, all these are before LPG. It is a training cum research institute pertaining to packaging and testing. Now here what happens is, they are supposed to know that whether the exporting the product are done by the people who are going with adulteration or fraudulent thing. So here we have a research center where they'll actually predetermine what are the product, what exactly it's happened, and if any adulteration is there, they are the one who will actually stop the export procedure, and they'll cancel the license of the person who is exporting the product. Plus they are the one who will actually go with maintaining a standard of packaging, because the entire export will represent India. So they are the one who goes with how to go with more packaging. There are many perishable item, non-perishable item. For each one of them, they are supposed to go with more and different kind of a packaging system, so that the product should be very good, as well as when they start using it also, they shouldn't feel that any product is dismantled, or any product is there is a defect or something. So Indian Institute of Packaging will take care about all the packaging system, as well as they have a testing center where what the product is and how the product will actually go with the quality and quantity. And at last we have STO. What is it? STO, that is called State Trading Organization. The main objective of STC is to stimulate trade, primarily export trade among different trading partners of the world. Later the government set up many more organizations, such as Metal and Minerals Trading Corporation, that is called MMTC. Now what is this MMTC? You will get a question called expand MMTC. Now you are supposed to say that Metal and Mineral Trading Corporation, Handlooms and Handicraft Export Corporation, which is called HHEC, that is handloom, that is handicraft, handloom export corporation, that is called HHEC. So these are the state trading organization. So by concluding everything, I'll tell you here, students, what exactly happens here is, the entire country wants to go with more of exporting. They want to promote the exporters. They really want to maintain that standard of selling our goods to the foreign country, and foreign nations money should actually come to our country, so that economically we'll also be very strong, is what the government of India wants to go with it. And they are supporting all the exporters with all these institutions, which will actually check into all the necessary documents, necessary standards, and tenure of the agreement. So here is what the institutions which will support the exporting procedure. Thank you so much. Next session I'll explain you more about the other topics. Till then, I'll see you when I see you.